She closed the bedroom door behind her, slipping out of her heels, watching Malik from the corner of her eye. He was standing by the window, back to her, hands in his pockets. His posture had always been effortless, commanding without trying. But tonight, something was different. The kind of different that made her pulse slow just slightly. He hadn't spoken much that evening. Hadn't been cold, hadn't been distant. But there was a deliberateness to his presence, a precision in his movements that hadn't been there before. And then she saw it. Her journal. Open. Not hidden, not turned down, not discarded, but open. She had left it on the nightstand that morning, half intentionally, half not. Pages filled with the kind of thoughts a woman never says aloud. The kind of thoughts a man either dismisses or understands, and only one of those was worth staying for. Malik finally turned. "Do you always write things like this?" His voice was low, steady. Naya met his gaze, unflinching. "I write what matters." A slow nod. No anger. No accusations. Just a quiet calculation behind his eyes, the kind she had seen before, when he was in a boardroom, when he was reading a situation, when he was deciding whether something was worth his time. He stepped forward. One step. Two. Close enough that she had to tilt her chin up to hold his gaze. Close enough that his presence settled over her skin like a weight, like something tangible. "This list," he murmured, voice lower now. "It's not a wish list. It's a blueprint." Naya's lips parted slightly. He had read it. And not just read it, understood it. She didn't speak. Didn't need to. Because when Malik reached for the silk strap of her dress, tracing it between his fingers with a slowness that was both casual and deliberate, the shift between them wasn't just felt. It was sealed. The next morning, everything felt the same. Except it wasn't. It was in the way Malik moved, calm, assured. The way his watch glinted against his wrist as he adjusted his cufflinks, how his suit wasn't just worn but inhabited. It was in the way he touched her, not absent-mindedly, not habitually, but with quiet possession. A hand at the small of her back. A glance that lingered half a second longer than necessary. And when he pulled out her chair before she could sit, she simply lifted a brow. Malik smirked. A challenge. A confirmation. An understanding. No words were needed, because something fundamental had changed. And neither of them were going back. Next time on Sovereign Desire. The chic look, not just a fashion statement but a silent weapon. The difference between a man who adjusts and a man who adapts. Some games are played. Others are mastered.